To the top rope now. Cody caught up to the top rope. I don't know where Cody's getting it from. Cody looking for cross roll. Once again picks the ankle. Cody's in trouble. Makes it to the ropes, gonna force the break.
Hey, what's going on, YouTube land? This is your boy TJ. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Wrestling Nostalgia, where I get my reviews on WWE shows and PLE events, but not for much longer because this actually is going to be my last month doing reviews. I have like a lot of ideas now that I do want to talk about and get into as far as with wrestling. And at first, when I first started this wrestling channel, I didn't know like what direction I would go. So I said, you know, go for the easiest route where I can have consistent wrestling content as far as like with reviews. But now that I have an idea for wrestling and everything like that, I do want to do more wrestling content, but just this is going to be my last month doing the reviews for Raw and SmackDown. I may do the reviews for the PLE events, but far as like the weekly shows, yeah, I don't know about that anymore. This is actually, like I said before, is going to be my last month doing it. But with that out the way, now let's go ahead and get into my SmackDown review. So we open up SmackDown with everyone's favorite lovable champion, Cody Rhodes. And he says that he's looking forward to Saturday Night Main Event and his opponent, Kevin Owens. And this is when Chad Gable comes out and he says that he's out here because of the brand switch or open window or some crap he was talking about. I'm like, so when was WWE gonna, you know, articulate this to us? Cause the War Games thing, that made sense. Okay, whatever, cause you know, cross brand or whatever. Okay, whatever. But now it's over. So what are we doing here? So anyways, he says that he's out here because we're in our hometown and I'm the best to ever come out of Minneapolis and the standard third. And then this is when he says that being from Minneapolis, these guys here are like narrow-minded or easily, you know, gullible and influenced. So let me just go ahead and shake that. He said that, Cody Rhodes, you are a superficial champion. You're not a good friend. You toss Kevin Owens to the wayside because all you care about is what everybody else thinks of you in the standard third. This is when Cody Rhodes says that I see a lot of myself in you and we both didn't have like really good circumstances, you know, coming into this. Remember, you were Shorty G, I was Stardust or whatever. Everybody started chanting Stardust. He said that, yeah, right now you feel like you don't have a lot to lose because you're shooting your shot at the world champion. So that means, you know, you're going to get a leg up or something like that along those lines. But he said you absolutely have everything to lose because you're trying to set an example for the stable that you're in. You losing, you know, what about everybody else and whatever he was talking about. Who cares? This is when Chad Gable said, you know what, shut up. If I wasn't in this suit, I'll whoop your. And this when Cody Rhodes said, oh, yeah, really? So how about when you go to Nick's office, how about you go ahead and set up a match with me and you tonight? And, oh, yeah, I got Kevin Owens on my mind. So, yeah, that's not a good thing for you. So he throws the mic at Chad Gable. And this is where this segment ends with them having this whole stare off and, you know, all the Macho Man stuff going on. So we're going to see later on tonight Chad Gable versus the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. This kind of could have got cut down just a little bit, probably by like 2 minutes. But other than that, this wasn't a bad segment. We're going to see what's going to happen between these two later on tonight. In this next segment, it is Naomi and Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair looks pretty banged up from the War Games match, and rightfully so. And Naomi is all like, oh, you okay? She was like, yeah, you know, with War Games behind us, you know, now I can focus on who attacked Jade Cargill. And this is when Naomi says, you know what? I'm with you all the way, but I got to go ahead and focus on my triple threat match for the United States Women's Championship. This is when Bianca Belair says that, you know, go ahead and do your thing out there. Good luck. So this is when Naomi go ahead and walks off. And this is where Chelsea Green and Piper Niven comes up. And she was like, oh, well, thank goodness that we have our private eye right on the mission to go ahead and find out who attacked Jade Cargill. So this is when Bianca Belair says, well, it could have been your homegirl, Piper Niven, because I don't remember seeing her out there. So this is when Piper Niven says that I didn't touch her, but you know what? How about me and you go ahead and tussle with each other? So this is when the fight breaks out, and Bianca Belair takes out Chelsea Green first, and then Bianca Belair and Piper Niven wind up mixing it up, and looks like Bianca's getting the best of her, but then Chelsea Green winds up hitting her right in the ribs, and then they wind up wiping her out, and and this is where this segment ends, where Chelsea Green and Piper Niven walks hand in hand out of there. I don't know what's going to happen. I guess it's going to be Piper Niven versus Bianca Belair later on tonight, but we just have to wait and see. In this next matchup, it is a women's United States tournament qualifying match. It is Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi versus Elektra Lopez. So in this matchup, they already take out Naomi, and then it's Elektra Lopez and Tiffany Stratton going at it. And pause, before I continue, if I would have known this was in Tiffany's hometown, I would have already predicted that she was going to win this. But moving forward, they wind up going back and forth. And then this is when Naomi winds up getting back in the ring. And then they all are, mixing it up and doing their little moves. Let's just go ahead and fast forward into the end of this match. And it looked like Naomi was going to go ahead and win this. And she did like a split-legged moonsault. And she almost got the victory over on Elektra Lopez, but Candice LeRae wound up coming in and distracting her, and this is where it gave the opening for Tiffany Stratton to do her prettiest moonsault, and then 1, 2, 3, Tiffany Stratton advances in the Women's United States Championship match. So this was a really good showing from Naomi, and I really wanted her to be the first ever United States Women's Champion, but unfortunately she's not going to be able to, being as though that she didn't qualify, and this furthered the agenda of the Naomi heel turn, and I feel like it may come sooner than later, and I'll be here for it, but we have to wait and see what's going to happen with the plans of Naomi, because it really is looking like she's going to be heel, but we're just going to have to wait and see. In this next matchup, it is Piper Niven versus Bianca Belair. In this matchup, it started off with Bianca Belair avoiding Piper Niven's running attack, and then she winds up backing her up into the corner, and Bianca Belair is just like, basically you can't play and keep away at this point. And then finally, Bianca Belair winds up getting caught up by Piper Niven, and Piper Niven is working on the ribs. And then all the way up until the commercial break, even after commercial break, Bianca Belair is wrapped into a submission hold, and Chelsea Green with cheap tactics is helping out Piper Niven with her holding Piper Niven's hand, I guess, giving a little extra oomph into that submission hold. A little bit back and forth later, Bianca Belair winds up fighting out of it, and they kind of go back and forth from here. And then towards the end of the match, Piper Niven wound up on the second rope, and she wound up getting caught up by Bianca Belair. And then this is where Chelsea Green winds up getting on the apron, doing whatever the heck she thought she was going to do. Bianca Belair winds up throwing her in the ring, and then she lays her out, and then this is when Bianca Belair hits the KOD on Piper Niven onto Chelsea Green, and then 1, 2, 3, Bianca Belair picks up a big win over Chelsea Green. So this actually was a really, really good match. It probably was one of the best matches thus far on the SmackDown card, and this is the reason why Bianca Belair is probably one of the best to ever do it. And we're going to see what's going to happen leading up into Saturday night's main event, which is going to be next Saturday. And I cannot wait to see how that's going to turn out. In this next segment, it is Bianca Belair, and she's walking, and she runs into Naomi, and Naomi says that, I know you felt good to finally get your hands on Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. This is when Bianca Belair says, yes, it did, and I'm sorry, sis, to bring this up, but I saw your matchup, and I'm sorry about what happened. And this is when Naomi says, you know what, I'm just so sick of Tiffany Stratton and Candice LeRae. I can't never get ahead with them in my way. This is when Byron Saxton said that he can confirm that Piper Niven didn't do it because she was in the gorilla position while your match was going on. So is there anybody else that you feel like could have attacked Jade Cargill? This is when Naomi says there's a long list out that we need to go ahead and seek out. And this is when Bianca Belair says whoever did it is definitely going to get these hands. And Naomi says that it's over for them. I'm like, yeah, that's because you did it. But anyways, allegedly. But we're going to see how this whole who attacked Jade Cargill angle is going to map out. And I'm ready to see who did it, actually. And if my prediction is true, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be shocked, actually. But if it doesn't, hey, it is what it is. But we're gonna have to wait and see in the upcoming weeks how this whole storyline is gonna formulate. In this next segment, It is Shinsuke Nakamura. He comes out sporting his new United States Championship, and this is when he is rudely interrupted by LA Knight. And LA Knight basically cuts it short. And he says, look, after your cheap little win or whatever, hope you don't think that this is going to be over with because you still got to contend with me. So he winds up getting in the ring and he is interrupted by Andrade. And Andrade says, no, I want a piece of Shinsuke. And I'm like, God damn, like he's a hot commodity, ain't he? So as he's about to get in the ring, LA Knight winds up saying, no. He has some debt, and I come here to collect it. So when I'm done with him, then that's when you can go ahead and get him. So then all of a sudden, this is when the bloodline comes out, and I'm all like, what in the world? What did they got to do with this? But I think they just want to recap it. They wind up beating up on Andrade and LA Knight. They try to fight back a little bit, but it just doesn't work. They wind up getting laid out in the process, and it looked like they were going to go ahead and do that to Shinsuke Nakamura, but Shinsuke wound up spitting out that mist or whatever, and I guess they decided not to attack him, and this is when he winds up bowing out gracefully and leaves, because I guess this has nothing to do with him. It's not his problem. So this is when Solo gets on the mic and he cuts a promo, and he says basically that I'm tired of everybody thinking I'm a joke and everything is a game. It's not. We hear anybody that thinks that we've broken up just because we lost 2 of our members. We're still going to go on strong, and if anybody wants to go ahead and contend with that and want to say otherwise, just go ahead and shoot your shot. So he says that I'm still your tribal's chief, and guess what? Minneapolis acknowledges me. So this is where the segment ends. We're going to see what's going to happen with the bloodline. Now, I didn't even know 2 of them got injured. I actually thought that it was Jacob Fatu, because I think somewhere at the War Games match, he wound up holding himself or something like that. I forgot, but I know for a fact it definitely was Bronson Reed. But how did Tangaloa get injured? I'm not completely sure. What did he do? But I gotta watch that actually again because I didn't watch it fully in its entirety. But we're gonna see what's gonna happen with this bloodline storyline, and if they're even gonna be at the Saturday night main event and everything like that, which is next Saturday. I'm actually excited to see this pay-per-view and how it's gonna formulate. I don't understand why they kind of got rid of it of sorts. I don't know, but I'm so glad that they brought it back. Hopefully this will be like once every season or something like that, which I'm okay with. But we're going to have to just wait and see what's going to happen. In this next matchup, it is for the World Tag Team Championships. It is DIY versus the World Tag Team Champions, or should I say WWE Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Gun. So in this matchup, it started off with Tommaso Ciampa being the aggressor, and he's just doing what he can to basically get the upper hand. And he tags in Johnny. And then, like, the story of this match, it looked like Johnny's all like, oh, well, I want to be the blue chipper good guy, and I just want to do the right thing. And Tommaso like, no, we need to go ahead and do what we got to do to win these tag team championships. So we kept doing that whole thing and trying to do the right thing and not, take any punches and stuff. And then Tommaso did most of the heavy lifting, and he basically tags him and is like, look, go ahead and watch and learn, sir, because you ain't doing it for me. So up until the commercial break, Tommaso Ciampa was basically just beating on the Motor City Machine Guns. And then even after the commercial break, he winds up tagging in Johnny Gargano, and he's still all trying to be the good guy. And he was like, oh, well, you can't run outside the ring. I put him in the ring. Like, what do you... He said, no, you need to slam him upside the freaking barricades and all that other stuff. Do what you gotta do. What are you doing here? So he winds up tagging him, and it looked like they were about to go ahead and implode because Tommaso was like yelling at him. He's like, you need to get back over there. You need to get on him. You need to do this. You need to do that. So Johnny pushes him, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and implode right then and there. And then Motor City Machine Guns wound up, tagging each other. And it looked like they were going to hit their double team move and go ahead and wrap this matchup. But Tommaso wound up distracting the referee. And then Johnny Gargano wound up low blowing him. And it looked like the fix was in, because then this is when he tags in Tommaso, and then they wind up hitting their double team move, and now 1, 2, 3, you have new tag team champions. So it looks like it was a double turn. It wasn't just Tommaso. It looked like Johnny was in on it too, and they are new tag team WWE champions. It was about damn time, because I don't understand what Johnny's motive was and all this. Oh, well, I'm going to be the good guy. I love the Motor City Machine Guns. They're like my mentors. I can't do this. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, can you please stop? So I thought they were going to do that whole angle and then finally have Tommaso and Johnny Gargano, I guess, run it back with their rivalry on NXT on the main roster. Not going to lie, I wasn't really all that invested in this. not really invested in this either, but it's just about time that something different happens. So we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. I just don't like the fact that the Street Profits got taken out of this match earlier on, and I'd rather have them be tag team champions, but hey,
Congratulations.
In this next segment, Michael Cole is interviewing Kevin Owens via his car. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really interested in anything that Kevin Owens is selling. This should have been happened months ago. But it is what it is. We're here, and I'm just going to wrap it up in a nutshell. So Kevin Owens basically says that Cody Rhodes betrayed him. He worked with the one person that I didn't want anything to do with because of the fact that Roman Reigns tried to end his career a countless amount of times, and he wanted to decide to go work with him, and that's when I knew that he was no good for me. And he said basically that he's not the bad guy here. So Michael Cole said that, well, he wasn't the only one. It was also the Usos and Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens said as far as the Usos, I mean, they're family, so I would expect him to do that. And with Sami, we're going to cross that bridge when we get to it. I said, ooh. So I guess he's going to have beef with Sami at some point. They're going to run it back as well. To end this off, this is when Michael Cole says, well, I have some advice for you. How about you look in the mirror and you take responsibility because this is all on you. This is when Kevin Owens says, basically, you know what, get out of my car. So he gets out the car and then he says, hey, Michael. He said, what's up? So he rolls the window up and gets out of there. And this is where the segment ends. I ain't gonna lie, this is pretty funny, but I'm still not invested into Kevin Owens because, like I said, they just was slow burning this a little bit too long, and I'm just not invested into the storyline. But we're gonna have to wait and see next Saturday's PLE event, which is Saturday night's main event, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the main event, and who's gonna go over between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. And I'm not gonna lie, them leaving Cody Rhodes off of the Survivor Series PLE event was very telling, and that he is definitely not really holding a lot of stock into this company. And with him being the North Star, the wrestling division champion and all this other stuff, it's a ruse, sorry. I'm just not invested in Cody Rhodes either. There's nothing about him that excites me, and I'm not gonna lie, again, yes, I was one of the ones that said that I wanted Cody Rhodes to win the world championship because I wanted an active world champion, but he has proven to be nothing of the sorts. And with that being said, I just not invested in anything with Cody Rhodes. Definitely with him saying that he's gonna take the John Cena schedule, and okay, if that's the case, then you need to be wrestling weekly. Like all this taking breaks and coming back and all that. It's really frustrating me. You know what? This is where we're going to end this. We're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen at Saturday night's main event. Hogwash. In this next segment, it is Nick Atlas, and he's talking to Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion. I don't know what the context of this conversation is, but anyways, this is when Carmelo Hayes comes in, and he basically is bucking up at Gunther. Or like, what you doing here? And all this other extra stuff. So then this is when Carmelo Hayes says that, oh, so you got time to talk to Raw guys, but you don't got time to talk to me? So this is when he was like, I mean, is there anything that you need? So this is when Carmelo says, it ain't nothing that I need, it's something that you need. You need to be making sure that your #1 draft pick is in a comfortable spot, and you need to figure out where I fit in and all of this with the draft trade-off or whatever he said about that whole thing where I guess they can go to both shows. Carmelo Hayes says that, oh, well, because Raw and Carmelo does sound good together, so yeah, you need to get your act together. So Nick says, that doesn't sound like a threat. He said that sounds like something that needs to come with cake and balloons if that's the case. If you're going to be Adam's headache from now on. I was like, oh. He basically said, child, you are not worth the headache that you're giving me. He's like the unwanted ex that just won't go away. But anyways, Nick Atlas says that he has somebody just for him. And I'm all like, uh-oh, who is this going to be? So this is when Nick walks away and Carmelo says, yeah, you see that? This is how you get things done. Da, da, da. So he winds up walking into nothing. I guess about to walk into the door because I don't know if he was about to talk some more to Nick, but he didn't want to hear nothing he wanted to tell him anymore. That was it for that, and this is where the segment ends. We're going to see next week who he has for him. I'm hoping that Carmelo is going to be at the Saturday night main event with somebody. I don't care who it is. I just don't want him being left off because he has shown improvement and that he is worth the investment, and he's one to look out for. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see what's gonna happen with Carmelo. But I want better for him. That's all. And we're gonna end it there. And finally, we are here, the main event. It is Chad Gable versus the WWE Undisputed Champion, Cody Rhodes. So in this matchup, they start off with the Collar Noble tie-up, and they kind of like fill each other out from there. And then Chad Gable kind of had enough of that, and he just slaps Cody Rhodes in the face and chops him and all that other stuff. Then Cody Rhodes wound up chopping him back and everything like that. Cody Rhodes was in control up until Chad Gable wound up targeting the leg, and then we go to commercial break. After commercial break, Chad Gable is still working on that leg. A little bit back and forth later. This is when I guess the Alpha Academy, American Made wound up getting involved, and then they are dejected by the referee. And then a little bit back and forth later, Chad Gable actually had a really great showing in this match with the WWE Champion. And it looked like Chad Gable was going to go ahead and win this match, but unfortunately, he wound up getting hit with the crossroads and 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes wound up taking the victory, but this is when Kevin Owens comes out and he winds up attacking Cody Rhodes and beating him up, beating him down, and everything like that. But it was a little bit back and forth because, Cody Rhodes was not going to take that line down. And this is where the segment ends, where Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens are like trying to still go at each other and had this big pull-apart brawl and everything like that. We're going to see what's going to happen at Saturday night's main event. And I'm not going to lie, I'm still not invested into this whole thing. Because, like I said, they pulled the trigger way too late. Didn't even put this on the Survivor Series PLE event. They put it on Saturday night's main event. So that shows you how much stock they have in Cody Rhodes. But enough with the negative stuff. SmackDown was pretty decent. It was a solid show. Could have been a little bit better, but hey, it is what it is. It definitely pushed forward different storylines and things of that nature. But other than that, it was a pretty solid show. How did you feel about SmackDown? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it the worst show on earth? The greatest? Comment down below, like, share, and subscribe. Help me grow this channel and all the other good stuff. Your love and support is definitely welcome and appreciated. And peace. TJ, I'm out.